Alright, I've been working on Jeeps for about 2 weeks now, so waiting on parts and wrapped up a couple of these jobs. But today I'm looking at my Cub 7265 tractor. It's got a 476 loader. Did a couple other videos. Picked up a tiller and a rake that I have yet to use. But anyway, the job today is I blew a hydraulic line on it last week using the loader. I was dragging around a half-ton Silverado. I had the whole front end of the truck picked up with the loader, and I was sticking it downstairs. But one of the lines blew. So looking at it, they're SAE O-ring to JIC lines, and I could have went to the hydraulic shop locally and they could have made me up a line that day, probably for 50 bucks or whatever. But I wasn't in any hurry to get this machine back using. So I decided to upgrade all the lines on the loader. Some of them look kind of beat up. They got wear marks, probably been sitting in the sun. You know, they're probably original, most of them. It's a 99 or a 2000 machine. It looks like somebody changed one of these. They put an adapter fitting on it, but it's got like a GIC like 6 to an 8. But you know, that's really not the right way to do it. So long story short, I ordered 8 new hydraulic lines. They're all JIC both ends, and I got adapter fittings from SAE to JIC on the cylinders. So that'll make it nice for service later, and then it's a $12 hose I can have in 3 days instead of going to the hydraulic shop and bending over for them. So the plan today is get everything switched over, get the fittings, new hoses in, get the thing bled out, flush everything, you know, with the new lines. And then next week, when I got 10 gallons of hydraulic Cub Cadet hydraulic fluid coming and 2 filters that I had to order, I'll do a full hydro trans change and probably do the engine oil again this year. So all right, let's drag it over to the shop and get these lines changed out. I got the bucket chained so that won't move, and I got the loader supported, so I should be able to take all these lines off without making too much of a mess and being safe. Alright, so it looks like I measured right. There was just charts on the internet. I mean, I've done a little bit of hydraulic work, but nothing really on a machine before, more on the race cars for the hydraulic steering. But I think this ended up being, I forgot what it was. Yeah, JIC 8. Yeah, so this is a JIC 8, and then I think this was an SAE 4 or 9/16, whatever that is, 4 or 6. So this I'll put on the machine and all the cylinders in all 8 spots, and then just change this over to a standardized hose that same fitting on both sides. And like I said, this was I think a $12 hose at Surplus Center, so they had 100 of them in stock. Yeah. I can have them in 3 days. This I would have had to go to the hydraulic line. They would have, you know, got me for different fittings and whatever. These are also 5,000 psi or 4,800 psi hoses, and this I think was only a 3,000 psi single wire. So, all right, let's get these fittings on. Should be easy, and get her back together. Alright, so I got the 4 hoses and 4 fittings changed for the bucket curl. I'm just going to try it out real quick, and hopefully it won't get too angry, self-bleeding some air out of the system. And then we'll move on to the loader lift arms with the 48-inch hoses and 24s on the other side. Alright, didn't lose too much fluid, so that's good. Alright, let's see if we can get the loader to work. Alright, cool. That seemed like it bled out real good. No leaks or anything. These hoses, everything clears. So, alright, on the loader hoses. Alright, that's the loader lines. I gotta put a zip tie on that cylinder over there. But let's get this thing bled out and make sure everything works, and then we'll do a grease job while we're up here. Alright, that wasn't too bad. We got all 8 hydraulic lines changed on the front end loader. Got everything all bled out. I checked the hydro fluid and it's just at the bottom of the stick right at the add line, so it'll be fine to run for a little bit to move it around. And next week I'll do a full fluid. I think it says it takes 6 gallons, and there's a filter up top and one down on the bottom. So I got those 2 filters coming, like I said. But it's a good little upgrade. This thing should be good to go, you know, forever now, since I keep it inside. So, alright, well, pretty easy tools, just using wrenches. This was the line that was bad right there, that blew, so I'll throw that one out. These ones I'll throw in a box on the shelf in case something crazy happens and I get in a jam and need to throw one back on. But other than that, she's ready to go.